Sensational Saturday, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of the D Word. Well, this is your host, Ferlie Almonte. I am Life Transitions Coach. Our co-host, Karolina Dehnhard, will not be able to join us today because she is serving another client. There's a lot of emergencies out there. But today we're going to be joined by a spectacular human being and entrepreneur who's going to help us navigate the many life transitions that we're going through. And, this pandemic has caused so many problems in our lives, so many challenges. We also go through life transitions such as divorce. We go through job losses. We go through, loss of a loved one. What do we do? How do we handle our lives going forward? Oftentimes, we're also faced with many financial catastrophes in life. And by the way, Karolina Dehnhard is actually the founder of Divorce Dynasty. Divorce Dynasty is a group in here that we actually have members ranging from, life insurance agents, lawyers who will help you with international law, divorce law, family law. We have even dating coaches, even people in health and nutrition, anything that would actually help bring value to your lives as you go through life, many transitions. Well, just like what I was saying, it's very scary oftentimes when, as much as you are looking to create a life where you can control your finances, when you can control the direction of where your life would be going, pandemic happens, job losses happen, businesses are closing, you are losing jobs. What would you do when you're going through that and your credit just going down the tube? And also your credibility in being able to, possibly even rent an apartment or buy a house seems so far-fetched now because nobody would want to give you money. How will you be able to navigate that? Well, today we have a super awesome expert that will help many people who are going through what I just described be able to move forward in life with a lot more resilience and confidence that this is not the end all. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you my guest, the CEO of CJW Global Solutions, Cardell Williams. Hi, Cardell.
Thank you so much. I'm sitting here taking notes. I keep on talking, Ferlie. I think your name should be Ferlie Ultimate. I know it's ultimate, but it's like you're the ultimate. So thank you so much for always bringing the energy and inviting me on to share something that is very near and dear to my heart and also my wife's heart, which is finances and particularly credit. Because our quick story is we have 4 children, 3 grandchildren, a dog, and a cat, right? And 20 years of renting, we realized the reason why we can't get approved, and it was really. As the man in the house, I really wanted to have the house for my wife. I wanted to have the backyard for my children so they can be out there swinging and having a good time. And, I wanted that. But the thing that was holding me back, it wasn't, I didn't have a good job. It was just debt. It was credit. You mentioned something earlier. You said credibility. And automatically I thought credibility. Because I didn't have the credit, the people who wanted to, lend the money said I didn't have credibility. But I thought I was pretty credible, but not. But my credit score said otherwise. So what we realized is that we need to do a couple of things. We need to get our taxable income down, our credit score up, and our debt to income ratio down. Because we start sending out letters, we start doing everything for ourselves. But as you know, as a life coach, you can read books and Google all you want, but you need experts. It's different when you have somebody that can help you. Right. So,
Cardell, I have a question. First of all, there's a lot of shame oftentimes associated with going into bankruptcy, for instance, about knowing that now, your money is dwindling, and people have maintained a certain image, and so they don't want that to be tarnished. Is there any possibility at all that you'll be able to do something like this, help them get through without having any exposure?
Absolutely. Everything, especially with our company, everything that we do is confidential and is client privilege, client right. We have the privilege where nothing is exposed. It's a catered plan for you and your family because everybody go different speed. Like we're all in a certain race, but we all go our different speeds. We'll have different goals and aspirations. So absolutely, and I always say to all of my clients, my family members, I'll tell them you can't get what you expect until you inspect. So let's do an honest analogy, right? Let's look in the proverbial mirror, right? And just look in the mirror, and whatever you see, you did something to get that image, but that's okay. Now you know where you are. It's the law of location, right? Now you located yourself. Now let's just reset that GPS to get you to a different place. And we have a plan, a very systematic plan that's paperless. It's not cumbersome. It's not complicated like a lot of these online programs where it just makes you feel worse than when you went in, right? And like you said, it is it's almost, I don't know if it's pride, but it's very personable
Well,
because
ego, pride, so many of those things.
yes,
It's a very humbling situation. But I, as a coach, I always tell people there's no shame in that because bad things could happen to good people. And oftentimes it is not to our liking. When you get sick, right? Do you have any control over that? No. Do you have any control over the pandemic? Hell no. And so all of these things. And so first of all, I would like to know, okay, the CJW Global Solutions, just give us kind of like a bulletproof of the different services you provide, and then maybe we can talk about each one, a little bit more in detail.
Absolutely. So CJW Global Solutions is my company. The services that we utilize for our clients is from MWR Financial. And though the four pillars that we focus on is a total financial solution. Because although a lot of people come for credit, you got to realize that credit is one thing. You can have a great credit score. And we realize that ourselves. We have a great credit score. And then we realize our debt to income ratio. It's a term called DTI. So we help our customers with their income, their debts as well. So we have them fill out a form, look at their debts. This is how you're going to pay it off in a third or half of the time. All right. So we have clients that, pay off a 30-year mortgage in 15 years. They have a 60-month term. They pay it off in 9 months. It's a systematic program that we have. So we get their debts down, get their credit score up our team sends out letters for our customers. We don't want a lot of little credit repair agents out there. So we do the heavy lifting for you. So just imagine you going to the gym, somebody else working out and you getting the muscles.
That's a very good analogy. Actually,
right.
You touch upon a very, very important point because, a lot of people do not know, first of all, who to contact. Number two, what do you say? What important information do you have to share so that it could actually affect you in a positive way? But that is your expertise. So just like what you said, you do the heavy lifting. You are the ones who already have relationships with those people that can actually help them get back on their feet. Now, is that what you call the income shifting?
Yeah, no, the income shifting is very important. And you set me up so perfectly. I like the way our mental Wi-Fi connects. Okay. Because the other thing that we do is we shift their income by, when you get a refund at the end of the year, a tax refund, I don't know if anybody knows, or maybe you do know that a refund is just an overpayment to the government that you paid all year long. So it's your money that they're giving you back. Again, think of the word refund. It's a refund. It's your money. It's your money again. So what our company does is we adjust your taxable, your W-4 for you, have you send back your last year's tax returns and your last 2 pay stubs. We give you a form. Our customers a form to give their HR. Typically, our customers are getting anywhere between $300 to $1,000 back in their paycheck. Now, why is that important? Well, if they need to pay off bills, I'm gonna connect with you. Pay off bills. If they need to put a down payment on a home, very important, miscellaneous things. But you know what's really, really important? And my wife is an insurance agent, and I know you are as well. If they can have an additional $300 to $1,000 back, well, now they can invest in insurance, which is very key. At first, sometimes they'll maybe realize, I don't have the money. Well, you have the money. It was just systematically shifted away from you. But if we can shift it back to you, get your credit score up, get your money back, because your credit score up, you're paying less than the interest at the same time. So that's really, really important for our customers And also, one of the last things that we do is we show them how to put their rent on their credit report. Because if they're paying rent anyways, why not have it on your credit report? So it'll be a positive line item. Typically, that's an additional 29 points, immediately a credit score boost. So we try to take care of the total overall picture. And insurance is really, really important because you can take care of everything now, but what about later? What about a catastrophic things happen? We can't control that. We can look at the calendar, but we don't know what's going to happen each of those days. We just have to take it as we get it.
Exactly. That's why I'm very, very passionate about financial resilience, because it's better to prepare, protect, right? And and have that peace of mind. We don't want to have to get to the point that we have to repair. It's almost like, I guess, when you're building a house, you want to be able to create a sound structure so that it does not collapse. But oftentimes there's a tornado that hits it, and no matter how well you are prepared, something happens. And I love that we are able to actually synergistically be able to help people become resilient in life. Now, is what you're doing like proprietary, or is it something that is like something that you just do, or is something that is like a chain of people do that all over the nation? Who do you serve?
Yeah. So who we serve, one of our target, first of all, we have a team. Like I say, for example, our credit department that's been around for 16 years, have over 100,000 customers, right? But we have 4 collective companies that's all together for the total financial solution. Now, one of our main targets is 150 million W-2 earners, because we realize that if you're earning monies and you're working really hard and the government is taking 37% of your money immediately, well, the average working family, it don't matter how many jobs you get, even if there's that one portion, if we can help 150 million people, Americans get an additional $300 to $1,000 back, that can literally save marriages, right? It can save. It really can, because one of the number one, our disputes, and not credit dispute, home disputes, is finances. So if we can free that up, it frees up a lot of other things as well. It gives you more access. So we really serve the average working American family, and if that's you, we can assist you. We have a program just for you, and also we include spouses as one cost. So we don't double charge. So
As you're talking, I'm laughing because I'm also thinking, because of your preventing, the divorces and personal or family conflicts, right?
Yes.
You're also saving people from spending money on therapy or marriage counseling, because obviously, that's
No, Ferlie, we want them to come to you with these problems. I have so much money, I don't know what to do. I'm stressed out. I don't know who to give this money to. We want them to talk to you about those money problems, because there's 2 types of problems: not enough or so much, right? It's 2 sides. I have so much money or
that's a
not
good
enough.
problem to have, though, to have a lot, and try to figure out where to put it. That this is really like quite enlightening to a lot of people, because all of us, of course, would like to be able to take control of our lives. But as I've said, oftentimes we face many curveballs in life. And so with somebody like you who can help people get back on their feet, because as I've said, like oftentimes when you go through a divorce, for instance, suddenly, actually, I'd like you to address this, because say, for example, there's a husband and wife, and of course what happens now is that the wife was dependent on the ex-husband, and suddenly she's on her own. She has her herself do not have anything to show in terms of income or credit or something like that. How are you able to help people who are divorcing and who are getting back on their feet and don't really have much to establish their credibility in credit?
That is a phenomenal question. One of the things that we do is we help not only repair and restore, we also help rebuild. Because if I don't know what the stats is, but it's kind of staggering, the actual amount of divorces. So we have a program that, you literally can start building your credit. You can start having everything on your own, and we even have everybody that has our service have their own CPA. By the way, you have unlimited access to a CPA. So any financial challenges or questions that you have, you can instantly ask, okay, I'm divorced. I'm separating everything. What is the best plan of action? And by the way, it's not spending $200 an hour. Although every CPA that's worth is worth their salt, right? If they're charging you that, but we put that in our program because we know you don't plan for those accidents or those things that can occur, which is a divorce. So we have a systematic plan as well to help anybody that has life altering situations that do occur, to put them back, to reset them on their different path, their other path now, new life.
Cardell, how are you different from a financial advisor?
I guess the financial advisor, they have certain levels. Like they'll say, okay, in order to invest, you have to have a certain amount of money, right? And they have series this and series this. But me, I just direct them to my team of experts, right? So if you are the divorce, person, or you have it all, and you have $100,000 a month coming in, wherever you are, every spectrum, we can sit down and cater something just for you. Because truth be told, we have people that come to us with 800 credit scores, and they say, Cardell, I need that extra 50. Listen, I know people might think it's funny, but I want to hit at 850. Or we have people who, they have lots of money. They just want to invest it properly. So we have a wealth max portion where we can help them invest to get 3 to 12% back on their money. And the thing is, I don't do that. I have a team that does that. And I keep reiterating that, a team, because it's very, very important. I just recently read a book about Henry Ford, and he was and it was the tycoon of Henry Ford. One thing I really picked up from him is he didn't know how to do everything, but he surrounded himself with quality people that knew the answers to whatever question that made it happen, right? So that's why I was over the moon when you invited me to this, because I knew you're going to ask me questions. I'm going to get something from you. Your energy, my energy, that's called synergy. Now we just synergized.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what we do at the Divorce Dynasty, because I am not a lawyer. So, I'm not a doctor. Even doctors go to different specialists, right? And so, because we cannot be great at everything, so go to the experts that know exactly what to do to help us. Actually, this is very relevant right now. Okay, a lot of people are losing jobs during the pandemic, right? And so they're very afraid about what's going to happen with their scores, with their income. How do you help people who may be going through that right now? A sudden job loss. Suddenly they cannot pay their rent. Suddenly they cannot pay their mortgage. They're scared. They don't know where the money's coming from, or at least maybe they're just buying time for a few months. How can you help them from going down the drain?
Very, very good question. So what we have, of course, we have the service part where we help people with these services, their finances, their credit, their debt, their taxes. But also any team that's growing, we're always looking for talent. We're always looking for people that we can train to help other people that have a passion, that went through some things, that want to help other people prevent them from that. So we have an arm too where we train people to work virtually from their home office. As you can see, I'm in my home office. By the way, we're in the Zoom boom era right now, right? Everybody's Zooming or StreamYarding right now. So only thing that you would have to do with us is, reach out to people, whether any of these social media platforms. If they have a need, you direct them to the service.
So you're saying like that is like obviously a career opportunity.
Yes,
But
yes.
however, I would like to talk about, so their scores. They're getting afraid of their scores, but they would like to stay in the industry or in the jobs where they're great at. Say, for example, how do you prevent your credit score from going down the drain, or from diminishing when you're late on a payment for rent? Because you touched upon earlier about putting your rent on your credit report. Now, what if you're going to be late 2 months, 3 months? What can you do to safeguard that from affecting your credit score?
All right. One thing you want to do is always connect with the, you always ask the question, right? You don't know what you're going to get until you ask. So you can always ask for, a a help. If, hey, I'm going to be late, is it possible? Send a letter or do something of that nature, right? So you let them know what's going on, because especially during the pandemic, everybody's more lenient and understanding what's going on. I had one client said, I just kept telling them, hey, it's the COVID-19, it's the pandemic, you understand? And they'll say, okay, we'll make concessions for you. So ask for concessions, especially right now. And another thing is, seek expert help. It's okay to ask. It's okay to ask and seek advice from somebody that that can have help. So you can always look online, you can YouTube, or you can call me in my office, and it's a lot of do-it-yourself things out there, trust me. Everything that we do, you really can do for yourself. But if you want to speed up the process and you want somebody to help you, you can always get advice that way. So I would say ask for that, and even call the credit card companies and ask them, listen, is it possible I can get an increase? Again, ask.
Yes,
You're not going to do it.
I love that. Being able to just be open, like in communicating with the people that are going to be affecting your score or what your rating, for example. One of the things that I'm trying to remember the whole quote, but it was by Nora Roberts. Basically, it also says that if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So,
yes.
So that's the whole point. Like, just ask. Mm-hmm. Like the worst thing that could happen is they say no, but they may be able to come up with some kind of a compromise. Yes. With that, and I love that, because like oftentimes we feel shy or like a bashful to ask for it, but this is not the time to do that, because you need to be able to empower yourself with that.
And I want to add something too, Ferlie, just to connect, because one more thing I definitely want to let everybody know. This is free information, but this is, Ferlie's always bringing you value, so I'm going to add some more value to you all. If you go to, this is for free, you can go to annualcreditreport.com. Every year you get your free credit report. Go there, download your credit report, and if there's anything on there, it's not saying it's not your credit, right? I mean, it's not your debt, but if there's anything on there that is anywhere close to being wrong, if it's an address, a number off, whatever, you call and you ask them. Not saying that it's not yours. Ask them, how do you know that it's mine? Can you prove this is mine? So put them to work. Don't make them put you to work. They have a job and they have a business. They bought your debt. They bought it. A lot of people bought your debt and they sold it. So they already bought something. So make them work. And if they cannot prove it, you send them a letter. If they can't prove it, it literally would have to come off. And also, you can always ask for a good faith dispute, a good faith removal, just out of good faith, because again, it's all ask, turn it right back to ask. And you can ask them, hey, is it possible? I made 30 good payments. I was late on 2. In good faith, can you take those 2 off? You'll be surprised in what you can do if you just go for it, attack the very thing that is causing you fear. You know what that's saying? The old saying, feel the fear and do it anyways, and then the thing won't have the power from you anymore. You take the power back. But go ahead, Ferlie. I just want to add that in there. So somebody
I love it. You just gave them a gift that, like even I'm taking note of that, because most of us do not know that we can actually get a free annual report. Isn't that wonderful when you always get gifts as opposed to you have to pay for everything? By the way, one of the other areas that I realized that your services are also very important about, protecting the health of your credibility, so to speak. Look, I created a whole big thing.
I'm taking notes on that, credibility.
So what I'm saying also is that, say for example, there are times like when I'm helping my clients apply for life insurance. Oftentimes, it's not just your health that affects the underwriters from making a decision whether to give you coverage. They actually go through all the public records available. That means they're going to look through your medical information, your medical records. They're also going to look at your credit records. They're going to look at your banking and finance information. They're also going to look at your payment behavior. So actually, I just found out actually a couple of weeks ago, because I've helped a couple of my clients, and we were trying to find out what affected the decision of the underwriter to either counter offer them with another number. Okay. And they basically said about their overall score. And so it's very important that all the time of our life, not just when there's pandemic, you need to be able to safeguard the health of your credit standing, because as we go through many life transitions, okay, you graduate from college, now you're going to get a job, now you're going to want to rent or buy a home, and then you're going to have to finance things, you're going to have children, now you're going to have education. Every single one of them would actually somehow put us in some sort of either debt if you don't have the finances. And if you lose control over that, that's when disaster happens. Look, the D word. Actually, the D word, this show was actually built upon, helping people who are going through divorce, disability, actually a despair, death. And now we've added debt. Actually, and you said and we actually lead people to dazzling destinies. And you actually added one more yesterday when we spoke: dynamic.
Dynamic.
Dynamite. I'm trying to remember as we're speaking right now. You gave me a really cool compliment, and you use an adjective that has a square. What did you say?
I said you are phenomenal squared.
That is well, actually, I thought it was going to be a letter D, but I love the phenomenal squared because I've never been described.
Or you can be energy squared because you're a lot of energy, very energetic too.
And so are you. And oftentimes, people like us who are very passion driven to help, all of this energy is built upon my passion to help people become confident and resilient in life, because as I've said, we will go through many, many life transitions, and oftentimes we need the help of others. That's why I like to connect with experts such as you. Look, Karolina Dehnhard is a family law divorce attorney and also an international lawyer. So, that is her specialty. You cannot do any better than having somebody like her who's also very passionate about helping people go through that life transition. And then with you, look at you, you affect basically people from all walks of life, right? Whether you are just a recent graduate with a student loan, okay, whether you are a homeowner, a renter, or somebody who just was down on your luck, whatever it may be, don't be shy to ask for help, because there's a lot of people. Say, for example, the divorce dynasty alone have many different experts. We also have finance advisors. I am a life insurance agent from our platform. We also have social media and a business strategist, even a dating coach and a matchmaker, whatever you need in life. So in a way, we're also matching people with what your needs are. Always, as a life coach as well, I always share with people, okay, there are 3 different things that you need to do in life if you want change. First of all, make a decision that you want to do that change. Okay. And once you make that decision, surround yourself with people who will be able to help you get to your goal. That means either get into a program where you're going to be empowered, hire a coach, hire an advisor, have somebody to guide you, because you need to surround yourself always with people that will lift you up and be the best that you can be. And then the third one, take massive inspired action. So whatever it is that you're going through in life is not the end all. Even if you're down on your luck, your credit score has gone down, it's not the end of the world. It can you can be saved. You can actually rebuild your life. You can rebuild your credit. It's it does not define you, but it helps you get things accomplished, right, Cardell?
Yes, absolutely. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I noticed, as I've said, we are not defined, but who we are or what we've been through. Those personal catastrophes do not define us.
It's
What
true.
what is most important is how you handle the future. How do you move forward from it? You cannot undo the past anymore. So surround yourself with experts that will help you get to where you want to go. And
Mm.
Cardell is one of those people. I am one of those people totally committed to helping people, lift them from their places of darkness and lead them to the light. Well, any last words, Cardell?
Absolutely. I'm going to end it with a story. All right. And when next time we talk, I'll give you the extended story.
Okay.
But one of the things that you mentioned about taking massive inspired action, and I heard I heard visualization when you were saying it. Well, last year, May 7th, 2019, I had a stroke and an aneurysm.
Wow.
It hit me out of the blue. I was healthy, didn't know what would occurred. But when I was in the hospital, okay, I had started my journey. This journey that we I started my journey to help people get out of debt, get their credit together, to live their best life, right, and to get that burden of debt and credit off of them. While I was in the hospital, one of the things that I did, I recall, is I filled my mind, and because at that point I couldn't move, I couldn't do what I normally do, so I just had my mind, right. I visualized, I projected where I was going to be, and I filled my mind and my ears with things that were beyond where I was. I was thinking about families, thinking about these having these kind of conversations. In my current position and place, it no one can understand that. It was certain times where I looked out and I saw the mall, because where my hospital was, I can see the mall. Well, I told my son, I said, son, one day soon we're going to be out there walking, looking back up at this hospital, saying, I remember when. Fast forward 4 months afterwards, I was walking across that same parking lot. I looked at him and I felt like I got pulled to turn around. I looked back. I said, you remember when I was in the hospital up there? And I said we was going to be down there looking up here. And he says, wow, Dad. Yeah, I remember you said that. Now, why do I say that story? Because this is my story, right? It was going to inspire somebody. I didn't know that me being resilient, and visualizing when it comes to pass, in a certain way, I didn't know what steps it was going to take and where I was going to be. But now it gave me this new fire, right, to help as many families as I possibly can, because some people get stuck in that bed up there where I was, and they start looking at their current circumstances, and they think that that room that they're in, whatever room that you're in, you can go beyond that room. You just got to see yourself there. You got to see yourself in a different place. And next thing you know, you're going to be walking in that place. You're going to be walking to your prosperous place. You're going to be walking to your healing place. The very thing that you spoke about will come to pass, but speak the right things, see the right things, connect with the right people, connect with Ferlie.
Thank you so very much. Just like what you said, I'm listening to you and I'm smiling, because what also propelled me to do what I'm doing right now is because of my own story. Because I know what it's like to be where I was, and I don't ever want anyone that I know, that I care about, to go through what I've been through, because we have the solutions. And
Yeah.
so, and we're here openly blessing others with that light. Well, on that note, thank you so very much, Cardell. It has been a pleasure sharing your gift with us. Oh, by the way, before you go, can you give us your website, somewhere where we can follow you?
I'm going to keep this really simple. It's two things you can follow me. Just look me up, Cardell Williams, on Facebook. Cardell Williams. All my information will come up. Or you can text or call me directly. That's like life to me. You can call or text me what you need, and we can have a 518-221-3854. That's 518-221-3854. Call or text. My name is Cardell Williams. I am here to help millions. Blessings and peace.
Oh, thank you so very much. You got there. Like he just blessed you with his amazing presence, his wisdom. And so, this is how we are with the divorce dynasty. We bring the experts to you to help you become, resilient as you go through the many D's of your life. What's done is done. The time for you to shine is now, and we're here to ignite your light. Until then, this is Ferlie Almonte on behalf of Karolina Dehnhard from the D Word. Until next Saturday, stay well, stay grateful, and shine your light. Bye-bye.
See you later. Shine your light. I like that.